Shut my door for me. 6 have a point. 4 have a point. 3, you can have a point. The reason we're breaking it up is because the next test would have a mix. I need to know Tyler understands Euler, and then I need to know Tyler understands Hamiltonian, and I'm not worried about him getting them mixed up until the next test. So the reason there are 2 quizzes is I'm trying to help Tyler out. That way he doesn't have to keep them straight and he doesn't get confused. The other good part about the quiz tomorrow and on Friday is you can use this handout. Now that sounds great, except we don't know what words this handout says. So I'm going to write on this handout and try to make it a little more useful because right now it's a hot mess. Now, last week we spent a lot of time after our last test on Euler. We've not talked about Hamiltonian until today. Today's the first day with that guy. As for Euler, we didn't even get to how this all happened. Right? One, stop it with pens. We didn't even get to how this all happened, but there was this weird problem called the Königsberg problem about these bridges, and this guy wanted to know if you could cross them all without recrossing one, and anyway, that's how Euler happens. That's why it became a thing. Now, an Euler trail is the same thing as an Euler path. So, I'll give your group 2 points if you can tell me the number of odd vertices we allow.
2. 2 or more.
It's 2 on the nose. Okay, and if you're thinking vertices and you don't know what that is, I probably would draw myself a picture. So, like, yes, you can. So let's draw a picture. I've got 4 vertices. B has 2 poking out of him. A has 2 poking out of him. But let's make... It's at the front. I just couldn't wait. Bless you. Let's make... If you want to send them up to him. I already sent them. Oh, okay. I didn't see them. Okay. I don't know who you sent them. They're tall. One's Asian. One's Asian. They'll come back. They're good. Okay, you're good. D has 3. I probably need to change C. So it has 3 too. You gotta have 2 with odds. And right now I failed because I have way too many with odds. So, yeah, I know. I could redraw this whole thing and life would be so much better. Let's just start at the beginning. So there's either an Euler path or an Euler circuit. The difference between a path and a circuit.
There you go. Jesus,
take the wheel. I want to talk and not hear things. I just want to say words and not hear anything but myself. It's not that much to ask for in life. An Euler path has exactly 2 odds. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 odds, so this is not a path. Too many odds. That's what you were supposed to do on your worksheet on Friday. If that's not what you did, oh Lord. Okay. We also talked about, flip to the next page. We also talked about an Euler circuit. Can someone tell me the difference between a path and a circuit besides the odd vertices? Yes. So if we can start and end at the same spot, like a box. I know that's really dumb, but right now I do have an Euler path because I could do A to B, B to C, and C to D, and then go back to A. A to B, I cross that road once. B to C, I cross that road once. C to D, I cross that road once. D to A, I've crossed that road once. That would be a circuit. None of them have odd vertices. If we listed it out, A has 2 things poking out of it. D has 2 poking out of it. B and C both have 2 poking out of them. So none of them are odd. They have to all be evens. Sometimes they put the word vertices, and sometimes they put a different word that starts with a D to annoy you. It's a word you heard a lot in geometry. And in algebra 2 with trig. Especially when you're dealing with radians and what's the other one? Yeah, she came back already. You're fine. Just come back in.
Diameter.
Degrees. Thank you, 6. You can have a point. So there's a slight chance that you might see the word degrees instead of vertices. They literally are meaning the same thing. They're talking about how many odd or even roads are poking out of that point. Now, a graph is called Euler circuit, Euler path. Sometimes they call it an Euler graph if it's an Euler circuit. I don't really care if you know that part. The only thing that we need to talk about that we didn't discuss on Friday that some people messed up on. I know I discussed it with table 4 because they turned their packet in early and we could discuss what they had done wrong. And if you turned your packet in early, we discussed it. But if you didn't turn your packet in early, we didn't discuss it. Just because it has even or odds, like this one has all evens, so we want it to be a circuit. The last one, if it only had 2 odds, we would want it to be a path. That's not always true. There's something else we need to check. And that's a word you see later on. And that's this word connected. So there's a problem. If we have a graph that looks like this, or anything else like this, where there's a gap in between, like the example you had the other day in your textbook where there was a river and you couldn't do either, it's going to be disconnected. So it doesn't matter if they're all even or if there's only 2 odds, it doesn't matter. If it's disconnected, it's not a path or a circuit. Because a path and a circuit imply I can start and cross every single road, and that's complete bull right now because Kayla can start here, cross this road, cross this road, cross this road, but then she's stuck. Because regardless, a path or a circuit implies I can cross every single road, and that's just simply not true. Okay, so if I had to summarize all the things, and I were to put it at the top because, you know, people flipping through stuff, cool. Do you know what an Euler path is? That's the 2 odds. Euler circuit. That's no odds. Now again, they might throw out the word trail instead of path. They might throw out the word vertex or degree just to confuse you. We're still talking about how many roads are poking out of this point on our street. And the last thing you would need to know in order to be successful on tomorrow's quiz is this idea of disconnected or connected. If our graph is hopeless, like it has a river, if our graph is hopeless and it like has a river or something ridiculous where there's no way you can cross every street, there's no way it was a path or a circuit to begin with. So even if you counted it up and it's all evens and you wanted to put path, it's not. Okay, the only other thing I would probably write on my paper today would be is the tiny difference that while 6, get another point, and 4, and 5, and 3, I heard them. The only other thing I would write on my paper is what I wrote in purple. While you don't need that for the quiz, you do need that in life. Because of today, as of today, I'm about to rock the world. Will you turn off the heat? It's hot. I'm sorry, baby. today, it's not about crossing every road. So Euler, we literally wanted to cross every single road. If you didn't cross every single road, you failed. Today, we're not wanting to cross every road. With Hamiltonian, you actually don't want to cross every road. Instead, your goal is simply to visit every house. So if you visit every house, you're successful. If you don't visit every house, you're not successful. So do you actually have to cross every road? No. So that's the difference between Euler and Hamiltonian. Euler is worried about the roads themselves. Hamiltonian is worried about the houses.
Hamiltonian is like shortcuts to places.
Yeah, Hamiltonian, as long as you visit every single house, it's okay if you skipped a road. It's not okay if you skip a house. And sadly, what's really going to depress you is that while Euler has these cute tricks to help us figure out how to circuit, Hamiltonian does not. You just got to try and see. That's the sad day part. Okay, I would like to see 1 through 8. Let's face it, that's a lot of problems.